x minus 3 plus I2. Again, see here, I'm using a bracket because there is more than one term. This is one factor, and the next factor is x minus 3 minus I2. So how do you form the equation? The equation is x minus, I take that minus inside, so x minus 3 minus I2 into, take the minus inside, x minus 3 plus I2 equal to 0. Why did I put equal to 0? Because I'm finding the product. Okay, into, I didn't put a comma, anything in between. So now, you see here, this is x minus 3 is common. Then you have minus I2 here plus I2. Same thing, but plus and minus. So this is of the form A minus B into A plus B form, which is A squared minus B squared. Your A here is x minus 3, B here is I2, okay, or 2I. You can either use this formula or you can use A minus IB, A plus IB is A squared plus B squared. In that case, you will take B as only 2, okay. So be careful with the application of the formula, children. A minus B. So A squared, A is x minus 2, A squared minus B squared, okay, equal to 0. So we'll expand A squared plus B squared minus 2AB minus I squared into 2 squared. So you get x squared minus 6x plus 9 minus I squared is minus 1. So you get x squared minus 6x. This becomes plus, minus into minus. So 9 plus 4, 13 equal to 0 is the required equation. Did you all follow this?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you all understand? Okay. So same procedure that we did for irrational roots. Please use a bracket here because you have more than one term here. So if you don't use a bracket, you still can be careful with the signs, then it's fine. The minus, when you take it inside, the sign will change. So you might go wrong. That's a reason I'm insisting upon using a bracket. There. Okay. So let's do one more problem for a fourth degree and then move on to the Newton's method. Maybe I want to form an equation whose roots are 1 plus I and give me another imaginary root. Of your
2 plus,
choice.
2 plus
2,
I, ma'am. Plus
2
I.
plus I. Okay, 2 plus I. Okay, thank you. 1 plus I and 2 plus I. All right. So this equation I need to form. So given 1 plus I and 2 plus I are roots. Imaginary roots occur in pairs. So 1 minus I and 2 minus I are also roots. Agreed? So let's write the factors. The factors are x minus 1 plus I, comma, x minus 1 minus I, x minus 2 plus I, and x minus 2 minus I. Okay, all these are factors. When I want to write the equation, I write the product, multiply all these. So the equation is obtained by the product of the factors. Okay, so how do I write it? See, factors, I'm going to write this as x minus 1 minus I. I'm taking the minus inside, so I'm getting it. That is one factor. Then x minus 1 plus I is one other factor. X minus 2 minus I is one factor. X minus 2 plus I is one factor. Okay, I have to find the product of all this. See how I'm writing? Equal to 0. The equation is. Till this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now you see here, this is common. Plus I and minus I, same thing, but signs are different. Okay, so I'll use the formula. A is this, A squared minus B is this, A squared minus B squared. So that is the first term. Then look at this. This is same. I and minus I, same thing, but signs are different. Again, A plus B into A minus B formula. A squared minus B is again I here, B squared equal to 0. I've used the formula A plus B into A minus B. If you're familiar with A plus IB into A minus IB also, you can use. A plus IB into A minus IB is A squared plus B squared. Okay, please write the formula correctly. Don't mess up with the signs. Okay, so let us again expand this. So 1 minute. I'll have A squared plus B squared minus 2AB. I squared is minus 1. Minus into minus gives me plus. And then look at this. A squared plus B squared minus 2AB, 4x. Again, I squared is minus 1. Minus 1 and minus will become plus 1 equal to 0. Is this clear, children, to everybody? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Now I just have to simplify and write this as x squared minus 2x plus 2. I'm adding this 1 and 1. Anastasia, x squared minus 4x
Ma'am.
plus 5. Are you able to follow, ma?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now multiply it inside term by term. I'll get x power 4 minus 2x cube plus 2x squared. First x squared ஆல multiply பண்ணிருக்கேன் எல்லாத்தையும். Next I'm going to multiply by minus 4x. Minus 4x cube plus 8x squared minus 8x plus 5x squared minus 10x plus 10 equal to 0. Let us simplify this again. X cube terms we have only 2. X squared terms we have 8 plus 2 plus 10, 5, 15. Then x term is this, constant is this. Please check. Aswathanan, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Please check the calculations if I'm right, Kishore.
Okay.
I think this is the equation, fourth degree equation. This is the required equation. All right. Did all of you understand? Pancras,
Yes, ma'am.
clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the calculations are right. Thank you. That is it, children. So we have completed this topic also of forming equations when the imaginary roots and irrational roots are given. If you don't understand anything, or you can ask me, Arunika Purunjichama. Arunika?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What about the others?
Yes,
Vaishnavi,
ma'am.
could you follow? Ashika, Gayatri,
Yes, ma'am.
all of you have understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
Sharon?
ma'am.
All right. So let's move on now to the last topic of theory of equations in the second unit. But two more topics in second unit are there. But this theory of equations, that is algebra, I wanted to finish off. And we'll include up to here for the first CA, okay? 1.5 units, not even 1.5. I think it's 1.25 or so. So let's have up to here for the first CA. Start preparing. And whatever notes I did not post, first unit fully I have posted. Second unit, theory of equations, I have posted up to APGP. Now this part I need to post. Imaginary roots, irrational roots, and Newton's method. Together I will post in the GCR. All right. Please go through the notes and go through it line by line. It will be self-explanatory because I've written every step. If you still don't understand, please feel free to ask me. Don't be scared. If you don't understand any step or if I have gone wrong in the calculations, you can feel free to tell me. Okay? ஏதாவது புரியலனா என்ன கேட்கலாம், தாராளமா கேட்கலாம், நோ ப்ராப்ளம், பயப்படாதீங்க. இது புரியல, எந்த ஸ்டெப் இல்லை நான் ஏதாவது கால்குலேஷன்ல தப்பு போட்டிருக்கேன், பிளஸ் மைனஸ் எல்லாம் மாத்தி போட்டிருக்கேன்னா சொல்லலாம், நோ ப்ராப்ளம். டு err is human. So if I had calculated, I had written in a hurry and I posted it, means there might be chances that I've gone wrong. So please go through that. புரியலனா தாராளமா வந்து கேளுங்க, நேர்ல கூட வந்து கேட்கலாம், இல்ல போன்லயும் கேளுங்க. All right? Can you see my screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This topic of finding the approximate root using Newton's method. Why the word approximate? Approximate because if you have an equation like this, we can factorize and get the roots as 1 and 5. They are whole numbers, you see, whole numbers. Then we'll be able to factorize. If you are not able to factorize, when we apply the formula, then definitely you will get irrational roots or sometimes fractions as roots, and then sometimes imaginary roots as roots. Okay, when you are not able to factorize, then that gives us a clue that mostly 99% the roots will not be real. They may not be integers. They can be irrational. They would be fractions, 2 by 3 type. Okay, fractions or imaginary. When we factorize and find out, sorry, when we apply the formula for quadratic equation. So when they are suppose fractions, 2 by 3 means you simplify, what will you get? You will get 0.66, like that. It keeps on going. Okay, so we can't write all the number of decimals. We can write maybe 2 decimals or 3 decimals. So what do we do actually if the answer is something like this, 0.125846, I get such a big thing as a root. We don't write this full thing. We either write like this. If it's more than 5, we round off. Rounding off roots. Or what do we write? Some people write like this. They stop. They say that's enough. So what do we do? Truncate. Truncate means cutting off. Okay? We cut off all the values beyond this decimal and just write the first two. So you either cut off all the higher decimals, and then stop with just 1 or 2, or you take 4 places of decimals and you round off and you write up to 3 places. Is it okay? These are some of the ways. You can follow any of the way. So when it comes to decimals, we can find only approximate value. That's what I'm trying to say. I might have got this value. Jayapriya must have got this value. And then Sonia must get this value. All of them are correct, but they are not equal. They are approximately equal. You understand the meaning of the word approximate? they are approximately equal. There is a very small difference, very negligible difference between all the three correct answers. That is why we say it is approximate root. Have all of you understood, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now, for certain problems in which we will not be able to solve by the usual method, we will use Newton's method. And first thing that you should remember is Newton's method is generally used to solve a cubic equation. Secondly, when you're not able to solve it by the usual method, we use Newton's method for finding the approximate value. So it will be decimals. The roots will be decimals. Okay? Two things you should remember. Now I'll give you the formula. From those of you from physics, chemistry, I think physics mainly, you will study the same thing there in Allied. So if you haven't studied it, then pay attention. Newton's method is, first we will find one approximation, x naught. We'll find it. I'll tell you how to find it. After that, we'll write the first approximation, x naught, using the formula x naught minus f of x naught by f dash of x naught. Second approximation is I will use the previous step and I'll write this. Then the third approximation is I'll use the previous step, x2, and I'll write like this. So it goes on. Maybe 2 or 3 or 4 approximations we can find. This is called first approximation. Okay? So Newton's formula for nth approximation. Nth approximation. They might ask you in 2 marks, learn this formula by heart. Nth approximation means xn. First approximation x1. இங்க 1 இருக்கும்போது இங்க என்ன வருது? எல்லாமே 0 ஆகுது. இங்க 2 இருக்கும்போது என்ன இருக்கு? இங்க 1 இருக்கா? So இப்ப இங்க n இருக்கும்போது என்ன எழுதணும்? x n minus 1. 1 lesser than that. Alright? Minus f of x n minus 1 by f dash of x n minus 1. This divided by is only for the second term. Okay? Second term is a fraction. This is the formula for the nth approximation of roots, which we find by Newton's method. Am I clear up to here? Yes or no? Please respond.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now I need to tell you what is this x naught and I need to tell you what is this f of x. Okay, I'll tell you that. Now, whatever equation is given, that we will call as f of x is equal to 0. So that will be my f of x. That equation is given, isn't it? That is my f of x. Now, what about this x naught? X naught is the first value that I'm going to find out. How do I find out and what do I find out? Okay. Now, the clue is there is one thing called as Descartes' sign, rule of signs. Okay, which tells me that if there is a change in sign between two values, then there will be one root lying between them. I don't want you to confuse it because you might understand or may not understand. So what we would do is, whatever is your f of x which is given, take that, start finding out f of 0, f of 1, f of 2, f of 3, like that. How far should you go is the question. Now, if f of 0 is negative, this is negative. Suppose this becomes positive. Okay, value. I'm talking about the value. Signs will change. Negative lende positive varla, positive lende negative varla, no problem. Change of sign. So when there is a change of sign between the values, then by Descartes' rule, one rule in mathematics, it says that when there is a change in sign, that means there is definitely one root lying between this f of x and f of y. Suppose this f of x, this is f of y. If there is a change of sign between x and y, f of x Are you all there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm sorry. My internet broke and there is heavy thunder. So I've come to my data pack. I'll quickly finish because there's no power here. Okay. Maybe the problems we can do in the next class. I'll just try to explain this 1 minute. So, suppose this f of x and f of x y, their difference, they change in sign from negative to positive or from positive to negative. Then between these two values, there is a root. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say. So that we will take it as our x naught. Okay, at the moment, I don't want it to confuse, but let me take the simple value, maybe x cube minus x plus 2 equal to 0. I am asked to solve this equation. I'm not going to solve, it's lengthy, but just finding out x naught alone, we will do in today's class. So whatever is given, you take it as your f of x, okay? Then what do we do? Start finding f of 0, f of 1, f of 2, etc. F of 0 means in the place of x, you will put 0. 0 cube minus 0 plus 2. So it is positive. Plus 2, no? So positive. F of 1. 1 cube minus 1 plus 2. 0 plus 2, again positive. Okay. F of 2. 2 cube minus 2 plus 2. Okay. Again positive. F of 3 would be 27 minus 3 plus 2. Again, it will be positive. So all of them would be positive. There is no way I can get negative here. Okay. So what will be my f of? I should have 1 minute. I'm getting a 1 minute. 1 minute. Now I'm sorry. This equation doesn't help. We'll take this as equation. Okay. Now let us see. So this is negative 0. This is again negative 8 minus 2, 6 minus 2, positive. So you get positive. You see here, children, there is a change in sign. Did you observe? There is a change in sign now. Negative to positive between f of 1 and f of 2. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So there is a change in sign, positive to negative or negative to positive. In this case, it is negative to positive between f of 1 and f of 2. So my claim is there is one root lying between 1 and 2. Okay, this 1 and this 2. There is one root lying between 1 and 2. Okay, and lying between, the English word between means what? This is there in the number line, and some root lies between, means it lies somewhere here. So when it lies between, it will be of the form maybe 1.01, 1.25, 1.34, like that. It will lie between this. 2.0 இருக்காது, 2.01 இருக்காது, 2.01 இருக்கலாம், exactly on 2. But it is between means English meaning says இங்க தான் எங்கேயோ இருக்கு, இங்க இருக்காது, between 1 and 2. So it is going to be of the form 1 point some y1, y2, y3, like that. 1 point. Correct? 2 point irukad. So we choose our x naught as 1, the closest root. Closest first root, we will take it as 1. Then using that, we find out x1 using this formula, which we will do in the next class. So finding out x naught, did all of you understand how to find out x naught? X naught is the lower value of the root lying between two values. How do you find the root? Where does it lie? By starting with finding out f of 0, f of 1, f of 2. When there is a change in sign, you stop it. The change can be positive to negative or negative to positive. So whenever that is so, mark it and then say the root lies between this value and this value. And if it lies between, that means it is going to be lower value dot, that is decimal, etc. So lower value is what we assume as our x naught and proceed to do the problems. Is this clear to everybody?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes.
Yes,
1 minute,
ma'am.
I'll quickly take your attendance and I'll leave you. Please learn this framing equations for irrational roots and imaginary roots thoroughly, because they ask in the exam generally, and also Newton's method. Okay.